I never expected the words to hit me like a hammer. Claire sat across from me at the kitchen table, her arms folded, lips pressed into a thin line. I wanted to joke, to laugh, to say, "You're kidding, right?" But the look in her eyes froze. "Me, I think we need to talk," she said, slow, deliberate. "Talk." "About what?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. My hands shook slightly as I gripped my coffee mug. Claire looked away, then back at me, her eyes cold. "I want a divorce." My chest tightened. "What? Wait, divorce, you mean? Forever?" "Yes," she said simply. No hesitation, no apology. I blinked, trying to process. But why? I thought we were happy. I thought my voice caught. I thought we were building something together. She shook her head. "I love you, I guess, but I need freedom. I can't do this anymore. I can't live like this." Freedom. The word hit me harder than betrayal ever could. Freedom. "You're just giving up. Just like that." Claire didn't flinch. "I've thought about it for a long time. Can't stay not like this." I'm sorry I laughed, but it wasn't funny. It sounded bitter, hollow. "Sorry, that's it. After everything, you just say sorry and leave." "Can't live a lie," she said. "I can't pretend I'm happy when I'm not. It's not fair to either of us." I slammed my mug on the table, coffee sloshing over the edge. Not fair? What about me? What about all the nights I stayed up, worrying, working, trying to make this life perfect for us? Does that mean nothing? She flinched but didn't look away. "It's not that simple. I need to find myself. I need to be me. Me." I spat the word, pain twisting in my chest. "We were supposed to be us, Claire, weren't we?" Her voice softened, almost pitying. "We were, but people change. I've changed." I shook my head, trying to make sense of the impossible. "Changed? You changed overnight? After 10 years, you're telling me this now?" "I've thought about it for months," she admitted. "I didn't know how to tell you. You didn't know how to tell me." I echoed, disbelief cutting through me. "You've been living a lie for months, and now you expect me to just accept it." Claire's lips trembled, but she didn't cry. "I'm asking you to understand, not accept." "I can't stay." I couldn't breathe. My mind raced, replaying every dinner, every conversation, every night. I stayed up waiting for her to come home. All of it gone. Do you even remember the vows? The promises we made? The plans we had? "They were real then," she said. Softly, "but they're not anymore. People grow apart. I can't help it." I laughed again, a bark this time, sharp and painful. "Grow apart? We built a life together. How do you just walk away from that? From me?" Claire looked at me, her eyes distant. "I'm not walking away from you to hurt you. I'm walking away from me. Please, don't make this harder than it has to be." Her words stabbed me. I felt a part of me break inside, sharp, jagged, impossible to mend. I wanted to scream, to plead, to beg, but my throat was tight, my heart a weight. In my chest, I sank back in my chair, running my hands through my hair. I can't do this alone," I admitted, voice low, shaky. "I don't know how to fix this." Claire stood up, straightening her shoulders. "You can't fix this. It's not broken because of you. It's just what it is." I watched her walk toward the door, my chest aching with disbelief. "Claire, wait. Please, we can talk this out. We can try therapy. We can anything. Don't just leave me here." She hesitated, glancing back. "I've made up my mind. I'm sorry. I need to go." And then she was gone. The front door clicking softly behind her. I sat there, the silence pressing in, suffocating. My heart pounded, my thoughts a jumble. 10 years. 10 years of love, laughter, plans, and dreams, all evaporated in an instant. The phone buzzed. Jake, my best friend. My anchor. I answered, voice raw. "Jake, she wants a divorce." There was silence on the line for a moment. "She what?" Jake's voice was calm but firm, grounding me slightly. She said she wants freedom. She's leaving. My words cracked. I can't believe it. Breathe, he said. Okay, breathe. I know it hurts. I know it's hard. But you're not alone. I feel alone, I shouted, startling myself. I feel like my whole life just ended. Listen. To me, Jake said, steady. You're going to get through this. I'll help you. We'll figure this out together. You don't have to make sense of it all right now. I don't know if I can, I admitted, voice shaking. I trusted her. I loved her. And now she's gone. Just like that. I know, Jake said softly. I know it feels impossible. But you're stronger than you think. You will survive this. I promise. I sank further into my chair, staring at the empty kitchen across from me, the ghost of her presence still lingering. I felt rage and grief twist together inside me. Storm, I couldn't quiet. But beneath it all, a seed of determination formed. I would not let this go, not without her knowing the cost of her decision. Not without taking control of the life she thought she could leave behind. Jake's voice cut through my spiraling thoughts. Do you want me to come over? Yes, I whispered. Please, come over. As I hung up, I stared at the door. She had walked through the silence of the house, mocking me. The first wave of grief hit me, sharp and relentless, but beneath it, a stubborn ember glowed. I didn't know how yet, but I would find a way. I wouldn't break, not completely. Not. Yet, I couldn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, Claire's words echoed in my mind. I need freedom. Freedom. The word tasted bitter like ash in my mouth. I got up, pacing the apartment, trying to think, trying to make sense of what felt completely senseless. The phone buzzed again. Jake still awake, he asked. Yeah, I muttered. I can't stop thinking about her. You shouldn't, he said. Not right now. You need a clear head. I need answers, I said sharply. You can't just let her walk out. Something's off, you mean? I don't know yet, I admitted. But I have a feeling. Something she's not telling me. You're not thinking of. Stalking her, are you? Jake's voice was half amused, half worried. I'm not stalking, I said defensively. I just need to know. Hours later, my instincts led me to her favorite cafe. But she wasn't expecting me. Her smile froze. When she saw me walk in, there he was. Mark. Laughing, leaning too close, hand brushing hers. My chest tightened so violently, I thought I might collapse. I stepped closer. Claire, I said, voice low, trembling. She turned, surprised. What are you? Who is this? I demanded, gesturing at Mark. Mark straightened, a cocky smirk playing on his lips. Hi, you must be Stop, I snapped. Just stop. Claire didn't move, didn't apologize. He's a friend, she said, shrugging. A friend. My voice cracked, rage bubbling. A friend? You call this a friend? I'm not cheating, she said quickly. It's nothing serious. I laughed, a bitter, hollow sound. Nothing serious? Really? Laughing together, touching hands, sharing secrets. Nothing serious? Mark chuckled nervously. Look, man, just get out, I said, my tone sharp, controlled, but underneath I was shaking. Both of you now. Claire's eyes narrowed. You can't just I can, I said firmly. Leave. I don't want to see either of you right now. They hesitated, and then finally, with Mark muttering something under his breath, they walked out. I stayed there for a moment, staring at the empty chair, heart pounding, mind racing. Later, I called Jake. You were right, I said. It's worse than I thought. She's with someone else. I'm sorry, Jake, said softly. I knew you had a feeling, but I didn't want to believe it. Can't believe it either, I admitted. Can't stop picturing them together. It's burning me alive. And don't let it burn you, Jake said. Focus, breathe, think. You're not powerless. I feel powerless, I snapped. She's humiliated me. In front of everyone. My friends, my neighbors. My life is falling apart. You're not powerless, Jake repeated. You're angry. It's fuel. Use it. I hung up and sat in the dark apartment, thinking I couldn't forgive her. Not now, not ever. Maybe. My anger shifted into focus. I needed a plan, a way to regain control. Revenge wasn't just an idea anymore. It was becoming a necessity. The next day I went to work, though my mind wasn't on spreadsheets or emails. Sophie noticed immediately. "Hey," she said softly, "you okay?" "You look off." "I'm fine," I muttered. "No, you're not," she pressed. "Talk to me." "What's happening?" I hesitated, then sighed. "It's Claire," I admitted. She's seeing someone else." Sophie's eyes widened. "Oh, wow. I'm so sorry." "Yeah," I said bitterly. "Thanks." She didn't leave it there. "Listen, you can't let her actions define you. You need a strategy. Focus on yourself. Don't let her win by destroying you." I stared at her, surprised. "Strategy? Yes," she said firmly. "You're smart. Use your brain, not just your anger. You need a plan, a way to rise while she's busy thinking she's winning." Words resonated. I felt the first glimmer of control in days. "You're right," I said quietly. I can't just let this break me. I need to take action." Sophie nodded. "Exactly. And don't forget, revenge isn't just about hurting them. It's about reclaiming your life, your dignity. That's where the power is." I thought about her words as I walked back to my desk. Every glance, every whisper, every memory of Claire with Mark fueled a fire I couldn't ignore. I wouldn't lose. It's not like this. That night I stayed up again. My apartment was silent except for the hum of the city outside. I pulled out a notebook and started writing plans, ideas, steps to regain control. I listed every opportunity, every mistake Claire had made that I could use to my advantage. I felt alive in a way I hadn't in weeks. Anger had sharpened my mind. Heartbreak had given me focus. Mark's face haunted me, cocky, smug, thinking he could replace me with ease. I clenched my fists. "Not a chance," I muttered aloud. "Not while I'm breathing." I thought of Jake and Sophie, their voices guiding me through the storm. They reminded me that I wasn't alone, that my strength wasn't gone, and it was just waiting to be unleashed. I would be careful, calculated, patient. Every step would matter. And Claire, she would see. One way or another, she would understand the cost of her choices. By dawn, I had a list of actions, names, opportunities, weaknesses. My chest still ached, but the ache had shifted. It was no longer just heartbreak. It was determination, cold and precise. I finally allowed myself a long breath. "Not done," I whispered to the empty apartment. "Not yet. And when it's over, I'll be the one standing." Months passed, but I never let my mind rest. Every day I built myself quietly, strategically. While Claire and Mark flaunted their happiness as if it were some cruel trophy, I didn't chase them, didn't confront them. I watched, waited, and Plant Sophie noticed the change immediately when I came into the office one morning. "You look different," she said softly, calmer, focused. "I had to be," I replied, keeping my voice neutral. "I can't afford to be broken anymore." "You're not just calm," she said, leaning closer. "You're calculating. And it suits you." I smirked, though my chest still carried a quiet tension. "I've realized something," I said. "Anger alone doesn't win battles. Strategy does." She nodded. "Exactly. And you're good at this? But don't forget your moral compass. Revenge is fine, but it has to be clean, controlled." "I haven't forgotten," I said, though inside I burned with controlled fire. That weekend, I attended a social event Claire had invited me to, under the pretense of politeness. I wasn't going to confront her directly. This wasn't about shouting or pleading. It was about subtlety. I walked into the room, greeted colleagues with ease, offered smiles, laughs, small talk, all the while my eyes scanned for Claire. She stood near the corner, glass of wine in hand, sparkling in a designer dress, laughing at something Mark whispered. I approached slowly, exuding the calm confidence I had cultivated. "Claire," I said lightly, smiling faintly. She glanced up, her smile faltering for the briefest second.
"Oh, hi," she said, forced. Mark stiffened next to her.
Hey, he said awkwardly. I let the moment hang. Just a pause long enough for them to feel uncomfortable. It's been months, I said, voice casual. I didn't expect to see you here. Claire's lips pressed into a thin line. I didn't expect to see you either. I nodded, glancing around the room. Life goes on, doesn't it? Funny how things change. People change, you seem. Different? She said cautiously. I am, I said simply. I've been busy, focused. Mark shifted, trying to mask his unease. Yeah, you look successful. I smiled faintly. I've made a few investments, some moves that I think will pay off nicely. I let the words linger, watching their reaction. Claire's smile twitched almost imperceptibly, and Mark's confident posture wavered. Sophie, standing nearby, gave me a small nod of approval. She had been helping me shape this plan, reminding me of leverage, subtlety, and patience. I had learned that showing strength didn't need shouting. It required timing, precision. Interesting, Claire said, trying to mask her concern. You really focused on yourself. Yes, I said, voice calm, deliberate. Yeah. I realized that's the only thing I could control after. Everything, her eyes narrowed slightly, and Mark. It's been a big part of that, hasn't he? I raised an eyebrow. I don't know what you mean. Don't play dumb, she whispered, a trace of fear in her voice. You're not the same person I knew, I smiled, letting the satisfaction roll quietly under my skin. No, I'm not, I said. And it's liberating. Mark coughed nervously. Listen, we don't want trouble. I studied him carefully. His charm, his confidence, it was all a mask. I had watched him over months, noticed every slip, every insecurity. Tonight, those cracks began to show. A flicker of doubt, a hesitation in his voice. He wasn't invincible, and I could use that, Sophie. Came closer to my side. See? Patience. She whispered, every small move counts. They're already reacting. I nodded subtly. I can feel it. It's working. Claire's arrogance blinded her to my progress. She assumed I was broken, that my heartbreak had left me powerless. But I had learned to turn pain into focus. I had learned to see the patterns, the opportunities, the weaknesses, and now I was in control. The evening continued with laughter, conversations, and small glances exchanged between Claire and me. Every comment I made, every detail I shared, subtle hints of my growing success, sent ripples of unease through her. Mark's confident smile faltered more than once, and I caught it. Those tiny cracks were satisfying. Proof that patience, strategy, and careful action could tip the balance. Later, as I stepped outside for fresh air, Sophie joined me. You did well tonight, she said softly. I could feel them, I admitted. Claire, Mark, tension, fear, maybe, satisfaction, definitely. Good, she said. Remember, this isn't about humiliation. It's about reclaiming your life. Karma has a way of taking care of people who overreach. I let her words sink in. The first time since the betrayal, I felt calm, not numb, not angry, but in control. My heartbeat was steady. My mind was clear. The thought of karma unfolding naturally brought a strange relief to my restless heart. As we walked back inside, I saw Claire glance my way again. This time her smile was tighter, forced. Her laughter sounded hollow, rehearsed. I knew she had noticed the change in me, the power shift. Even if she didn't understand it fully, Mark too seemed uncertain, trying to mask his unease, but failing. I didn't need to act further tonight. The seed had been planted. The tables were turning. Sophie caught my eye and gave a small smile, full of quiet encouragement. One step at a time, she whispered. I nodded, feeling a strange mix of satisfaction and relief. The anger that had once consumed me had transformed into something sharper, quieter, precise. It was no longer a man running on heartbreak high. It was a man building control, reclaiming his life, watching the consequences unfold. By the time I left the event, the air felt lighter. I had taken the first real steps toward my ultimate plan. I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was winning, and Claire, with all her arrogance, would learn soon enough that the cost of betrayal was far greater than she imagined. I walked into the office that morning feeling lighter than I had in months. The tension, the anger, the sleepless nights, they all felt distant, as if they had fueled something bigger than pain. Claire was already there, sitting at her desk. Pretending nothing had changed, I approached slowly. "Claire," I said. Calm, measured. She looked up, startled. "Oh, hi." Her smile was tight, forced. "Busy morning?" I asked, voice neutral. She hesitated. Yeah, you know. Meetings, reports?" I nodded, glancing around the office casually. "Funny," I said lightly. "I've been noticing some inconsistencies in reports lately. Some things that don't add up." Claire's eyes widened slightly. I don't know what you mean." "Oh, I think you do," I said softly, letting my calm carry the weight. "You've been manipulating figures, trying to cover mistakes, trying to make yourself look better." Her hands trembled. That's not. I held up a finger, stopping her. "Let me finish. You thought no one would notice? You thought I wouldn't see. But everything is clear now, and you're not in control anymore." I didn't mean to hurt anyone," she whispered, almost a plea. "Didn't mean to hurt anyone?" I echoed, voice even. "You betrayed?" "Me, Claire, you lied. You chose someone else while pretending everything was fine. You manipulated people at work. You're not hurting anyone." Her eyes glistened. I'm sorry." "I didn't. Sorry isn't enough," I said, stepping closer. "You had your chance to be honest. You had your chance to respect what we had, and you threw it all away." Mark appeared behind her, eyes darting nervously when he saw me. "Hey, we can talk about this, don't?" I said sharply. "You don't get to talk. You've already done enough damage." He swallowed hard, his confident mask cracking. I didn't think it would. It doesn't matter." "What you thought," I interrupted. "What matters is what's happening now. Your lies, your arrogance, your selfishness, they've all caught up to you." Claire's lips trembled. "Please, I didn't realize you realized too late," I said softly. "Way too late." The office was quiet except for our voices. A few colleagues glanced up, sensing the tension. I didn't care. This wasn't a show for them. It was a reckoning. Sophie appeared at my side. "You've handled this well," she said quietly. "Calm, measured. Let them see the truth without you losing control." I nodded at her, grateful. "Thank you. I couldn't have done it without your guidance, patience, precision. It worked." Claire's shoulders slumped, a mixture of regret and fear flickering across her face. I never wanted it to get this far," she whispered. "You wanted freedom?" I said, voice low but firm. "You got it, but freedom comes with consequences. You should have thought about that before betraying me." Mark looked down, shifting from foot to foot. I messed up," he admitted. "Yes," I said calmly. "You did, and now you both have to face the fallout." Claire's voice cracked. I didn't think. I know," I said softly. "You didn't think. But thinking doesn't change the past, doesn't erase the choices you made. You're powerless now." I turned to leave the office, my chest lighter, mind clearer. Sophie fell into step beside me. "Feels good, doesn't it?" she asked quietly. "It does," I admitted. "For the first time in months, I feel free. Not because of them, but because I took back control, because I'm standing tall, unbroken." She smiled. "That's the real victory. Not revenge, not humiliation, but reclaiming yourself." We walked down the hall together, and I felt the weight of months of anger, sleepless nights, and planning lift. Jake appeared at the entrance, giving me a small nod of approval. "You did it," he said simply. "I did," I said. "And it's not just about what they lost. It's about what I gained. Strength, clarity, control." "Exactly," Jake said. "You're not just surviving anymore. You're winning your life back." Later, I stood by the window, looking out over the city. The sun was warm, the streets busy. For a moment, I let myself breathe, let myself feel relief. I didn't need Claire's apology, Mark's explanation, or anyone's recognition. I had my life. I had my strength. Sophie joined me again, handing me a cup of coffee. "So, what now?" she asked. I smiled faintly. "Now, I live my life. Focus on what matters. Build, grow, enjoy without them dragging me down." She nodded, watching me with quiet pride.
Oh.
"And I know," I said. Softly, that trust, loyalty. People like you, Jake, Sophie. That's what really matters, not them. Days later, Claire tried to apologize formally, email after email. I read them once, then deleted them. Nothing she said could undo the months of manipulation, betrayal, and lies. I didn't need closure from her, I had found it within myself. Mark attempted to explain to our colleagues, trying to save face. I observed quietly, letting karma do its work. The lies, the arrogance, the manipulations, they all unraveled naturally. There was no rush. I didn't need to intervene. They were already paying the price. I met Sophie for coffee one afternoon, away from the office. "I feel lighter," I admitted, not angry, not plotting, just free. "That's how it should feel," she said, smiling. "You're standing tall, unbroken. That's what matters." I nodded, letting her words settle in. For the first time, I truly understood. Survival, self-respect, emotional strength, these were my victories. Revenge wasn't about hurting them, it was about reclaiming myself. Later, I walked through the city streets alone, breathing in the crisp air. My mind wandered to Jake, Sophie, and all the support I had. I didn't need Claire or Mark to validate me. I had myself. That was enough. And as I looked ahead, I realized something important. Closure wasn't just an end to their chaos. It was an affirmation of my strength, my resilience, and my freedom. I had survived, I had endured, and now I could finally live. I smiled faintly, chest light, heart steady. The storm was over. And for the first time, I felt unbreakable.